So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video. Today we have another Q&A. This is the first one of the Black Ops 4 season. As you know, all throughout BO3 and sometimes in BO2, I was doing zombies Q&As pretty much a few times a week, answering your guys' questions about the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, anything that you wanted to know that you weren't certain on. I answered your questions to do with zombies. And now that BO4 is out, we have a whole new storyline. There are loads of new Easter eggs, loads of questions that you guys have answers to. We are going to be continuing on with the Q&A series, answering your questions mostly about BO4 zombies. However, if there is a question now and again that you have about the storyline for the older games, I can also answer them too. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, if you're excited and ready for this series again, make sure you drop a like rating, leave any questions, anything you want to know for future videos down in the comment section below. But whenever you're ready, let's get into it. Here we go. So the very first question of today, this one had the most likes, is from Hector Reyes, and this person says, can you investigate more about the trapped woman in 9? So if you didn't know, in IX, there is an Easter egg where you discover that there is somebody trapped inside of one of the walls, and you have to free them. Now, the person trapped isn't a woman, it's actually a man, and his name is Remus. This may sound familiar to you because, well, of course, 9 is set in ancient Rome, and Romulus and Remus were two twin brothers whose story tells the events that led to founding Rome. And then all of a sudden in 9, trapped inside of the walls is one of the legendary founders of the place this map is based in. Basically, if you don't know, in order to activate this Easter egg, it's pretty easy. You just have to find a few sheets of paper around the map, and then if you come up to different walls, this person inside will begin to talk.
It's all my fault.
The first thing he will say is, it's all my fault. If you make noise outside, he then says, what was that? Did I hear something?
What was that? Did I hear something?
He then says, is someone there? Can you hear me?
Hello? Is someone there? Can you hear me?
And if you interact with him and let him know you're there, he will say, there is someone there. You can hear me. My name is Remus. I've been trapped here. I don't even know for how long. They stuck me in here. You have to help me. Listen, they used locking mechanisms to trap me in here. I don't know what or where they are, but I know riddles that are associated with them.
By the gods, there is someone there. You can hear me. My name is Remus. I've been trapped here for... I don't really know for how long. They sealed me in here. You have to help me. Listen, they used locking mechanisms to trap me in here. I don't know what or where they are, but I know riddles are associated with them. Let me think. What was the first one? It sheds light on all animals, but prefers the serpent.
So, Remus has been locked inside of the walls by mechanisms, and he wants us to find these mechanisms by riddles that he tells us in order to free him. And so that's what we do. Halfway through completing it, he will say, I can't believe it. It's happening. I'm finally being freed. And then, finally, if you come up to this wall and interact with Remus, he is behind here, he will say,
I'm not sure how long I've been here, but clearly it can't have been longer than a few days. Thank you for your help. I have a chance to prove myself, make amends, live a better life. It is all thanks to you.
I'm not sure how long I've been here, but thank you for your help. I have a chance to prove myself, make amends, live a better life. It's all thanks to you. And then the wall will crumble, and behind it, not only will you get a cipher, which is interesting but doesn't have anything to do with this Easter egg, but what you can see is right up the far left corner, there is a dead body. This body has clearly been there for a long time. It is just bones, it is a skeleton. Around it you can also see we have the prima materia, this substance that turns people into the undead. So clearly Remus wasn't an alive person that was trapped behind here, it was his soul. Remus had been dead behind this wall for a long time. It was his, I guess you could say, soul, his ghost, talking to us, and we had finally freed him. But the question is, well, why exactly is one of the founding fathers of Rome trapped behind this wall? Well, if you don't know about Romulus and Remus, their story started when they were born. They were two twin boys, born to a princess named Rhea Silvia. Their father was the fierce Roman god of war, Mars, and because of that, the king where the boys lived was scared that someday Romulus and Remus would overthrow him and take his throne. And so he had the boys left in a basket on the river where he figured they would soon die. However, the boys were later found by a she-wolf, and the wolf cared for them. She protected them from other wild animals. A friendly woodpecker also helped them find food, where eventually some shepherds happened to come across the twins. One of the shepherds took the boys home and raised them as his own children. Growing up, as the boys became older, they became natural leaders. One day Remus was captured and taken to the king, where he discovered his true identity. Romulus gathered some shepherds to rescue his brother, and they ended up killing the king. When the city learned who the boys were, they offered to crown them as joint kings. They could be rulers of their homeland, however, they turned down the crowns because they wanted to found their own city. And so the twins set out to find the perfect spot. The twins eventually came to the place where Rome is located today. They both liked the general area, but wanted to place the city on a different hill. Romulus wanted the city to be on top of a Palatine hill, while Remus preferred the Aventine hill. And so they agreed to wait for a sign from the gods, telling them which hill to use. Remus saw the sign of 6 vultures first, but Romulus saw 12. Each claimed to have won. However, Romulus went ahead and started building a wall around the Palatine Hill, but Remus, being jealous, began making fun of Romulus's wall. At one point, Remus jumped over the wall to show how easy it was to cross, which made Romulus angry, and he ended up killing his brother, Remus. With Remus being dead, Romulus continued to work on his city, which he officially founded in 753 BC, making himself king and naming it Rome after himself. The city would grow and grow. For over 1,000 years, Rome would be one of the most powerful cities in the world. So that is the story of Romulus and Remus. Romulus ended up killing his twin brother after becoming angry. However, we can see that Remus says in this Easter egg, "I've been trapped here. I don't know how long for. They stuck me in here. You have to help me. Listen, they used locking mechanisms to trap me in here. I don't know what or where they are, but I do know the riddles that are associated with them." So we know that according to myth, Romulus killed Remus. However, in our zombies storyline, which we do know is also based off myths and legends, and also some real life events that happened, well, someone, specifically they, I would say a group, possibly the Ancient Order, put Remus behind this wall and left him there to die. Was it the Ancient Order that trapped this Roman founder behind the wall to be left for dead? If so, why? I mean, it seems like this order thinks they are more powerful, they are better than anyone else. Maybe they thought they were better than Remus and so killed him, just how the king wanted to kill the twins because he was scared they were going to overthrow him. Possibly the Ancient Order thought the same. Were they also scared of Romulus and Remus and so killed one of the twins? Possibly. Or maybe does this story relate to what actually happened? Possibly was it Romulus that put Remus behind this wall for dead? Maybe he killed him and then hid his body behind this wall, and he's been trapped here ever since, and when we set him free, it turns out it wasn't actually him physically that was talking to us because he had died, but it was more his soul, his ghost, that we set free from the walls of the arena. I don't know, it's definitely interesting. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comment section below. Android_44 says BOA. In the Blood of the Dead Easter egg cutscene, we can see Nikolai is holding the blood vials, but we never actually see him throwing them on the ground like post-Revelations Richtofen did. Do you think that Nikolai kept them because he did not trust post-Revelations Richtofen? And the answer to that would be no. If you actually look just after that, as the 4 characters walk out of Blood of the Dead through the rift, the blood vials can be seen on the floor. I believe you can actually see there are 6 of them. There may be more out of shot or more further at the back that I can't quite tell. There's also blood splattered on the floor as well. So it is out of shot, but I do believe Nikolai threw his blood vials on the floor. I mean, there's literally no reason to keep them anymore. The blood vials were only to keep the cycle going, but since the cycle has now been broken, the blood vials are ineffective. They would only continue the cycle, which is totally the opposite as to what the Primus crew are trying to do. They are trying to break the cycle, which they have done. They are now going to kill Dr. Monty. If they were to keep these blood vials, they would just continue the cycle, which of course isn't what they want. I mean, it is a little bit strange how we see the blood vials and they aren't smashed. They are just like left there on the ground with the blood still inside of them. But I mean, I guess no one's going to get to them unless the transit crew come. No. But honestly, answering your question, even though we don't see him smash them on the ground, I believe he does. We can see blood vials on the floor, and it would only make sense for him to get rid of them. So anyway, guys, there we go. That is all I have for you for today's video. Hopefully, as always, you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Any questions you have, leave them down below. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.